EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the home of the Cardinals, State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on.
Have decoded and found the science to 90s black hood.
Welcome to the booth. Mike Tirico, Greg Olson with you. We are set for a good one. Off we go from Glendale. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. They'll run first carry for Trey Benson. He'll get this ahead for about 3. Jair Brown on the tackle at the 29-yard line.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment. Keeps this to a modest gain at best.
From the 29, here's 2nd down and 7. He'll drop to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete.
They told us this week they were going to try to come out fast. And tell you what, that's exactly what they did. Put immediate pressure on this secondary and let them know, hey, all game long today, you better defend every blade of grass because we're coming out. Even though the ball falls incomplete, it goes a long way in setting up the rest of this game plan as the game unfolds. And this passing game continues to come up short these last couple plays. That's 2 consecutive incompletions in a row. Now they're staring 4th down right in the face.
On 4th down, here's Matt Ariza to punt. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback. Come out to the 20-yard line.
20-yard line.
Opening carry of the game for the versatile Christian McCaffrey. And a nice run there. He'll get 9 yards, marked with 29.
It's a gain of 9. Brings out 2nd and a yard. At the 29.
Now it's 2nd and 1. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll take this one forward for about 3, and that's a 1st down. Well,
here's where you really see the value of having a good record. 3rd and short, 4th and short. The ability to just keep it simple, win up front, turn around, hand the ball to your back, and say, okay, more likely than not, we're going to get a fresh set of downs, maintain possession, and now continue to find opportunities to go generate points.
And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take it forward for a gain of 4. From 37,
They should
here's the 2nd down.
And then after, we talk deeper, he's seen some
They
things.
run once more.
He's no enemy. So he's seen some things, but there had to be a string we could pull that put that all together. And that's what I found. And we would have discussed it today. It's going to kind of fuck you up. Because it's subtle. And then as I was talking to B.O.B., the only thing left out is what they're saying it and they're saying it too. We figured out they are saying something. But what they saying it too comes to question, and we found out that as well. The Spirit came and gave us a delicious treat.
3rd and short. Here's Purdy. And
That's
that is incomplete contact.
But therefore, the absolute and let me quote it today. But first, ladies and gentlemen, may have found you a little juicy treat that's coming up.
Fair catch. Take it, and they're going to start right at their own 20-yard line. And they'll get a chance to catch their breath over on the sideline.
Then you are agreeing to the tenets of what that means. That type of criminal, animalistic behavior. That's what they want.
First play of the drive, and here's Benson. And not much there.
Good
defense held to no gain.
Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming.
Anybody have any questions?
He's able to get through that hole and
I'm
take
getting
the
the
ball
rest of the
carrier
stuff
down
right.
for a loss.
See, we have to understand that 90% of war is psychological.
Now, faking the give.
90% of war that's war is totally based on science.
And they'll get about 8 out of
It's
that.
totally based on psychological warfare. Making you believe who they want you to believe the enemy is. Who they tell you the enemy is never who the enemy really is. The enemy is your mind. The biggest devil is the one in the mirror. The one that you don't have any control over. You understand? Every war has started with psychological warfare by trying to get the people to believe in an enemy that really does not exist. Of getting people to have it where, like, this group of people who don't speak the language of this people go invade these people. That type of enemy is gone. They shut that down years ago. You understand? Years ago. They want you to, that's why they always bringing up Hitler. That's why they always bringing Hitler up. Okay? They always going to use Hitler, the white one. Because they want you to believe that the Holocaust that them people went through was different than the Holocaust that you still going through. Because they the ones that did it. They the ones that helped orchestrate it. You understand? So they always going to use Hitler. You have to understand, most of the movies made by Hitler is made by Jews. Think about that. Most of the movies that's made about this nigga is made by the people who this nigga was destroying. The Germans don't deal with Jews like that. Don't talk about Hitler like that. They made laws that say that you can't even deal with that. You can't be a Nazi in Germany and all of that. You understand? They made laws that fix that. So why all of a sudden now is a problem when you start building up? Because they always want to throw you back into what their understanding, what their version of an enemy is. You understand? They don't care about us. They just want to control what we think. Just what we think creates the reality. So whenever they say Nazi, they want you to think of this on the left, when it's really this on the right. This bitch right here. She is the one. She is the reason why somebody like Meg Thee Stallion will get 100 grand or whatever much it was to Planned Parenthood. Why they always talking about women rights and women having rights over their body. How come the right over your body is only about what you can do to destroy it, to kill it? And why is it only dealing with our women? When at the same time, these Caucasian women is now getting 6 grand per baby.
The fast start the coaches told us was so important as this game unfolds.
You don't see the play?
Get the ball back for possession.
It's like at one point, they're going to just stand up and be like, yo, I'm tired of being played. How is it everybody in the world hates the so-called black man that wants him? Except me. Like, it's crazy. I watched the clip where they had an original woman. She got acid thrown in her face by her white man, by her white husband. And she said it's her fault that he did it. That's it. It's crazy. She went on how it was her fault. The nigga even tried to hit her with a car one time.
This is fielded
so when they say that Caucasian males and black women have the highest rate of staying together, that's because they put up with anything this nigga do. Anything he do, anything he say, she will stick it out with this nigga. But with us, no. Like Mikos, I'll do everything except that.
Going on first down is Curry.
You understand? That's how deep the brainwashing has gone. That's how deep it is. That's how impressionable these women have become. To the point that they have now reached the point, like I said, where they are active an active insurgency within the community.
That's complete to his big tight end.
They're showing what I'm saying.
No chance to turn and go.
So, in military terms, there is everything in military is bust down into Islam, bro. In military terms, everything is bust down into acronyms, right? So, the word salute is an acronym. Did y'all know that? In military terms.
Maybe 3 out of that one, and we're set up third down.
But it's actually an acronym. If you didn't know. So when the enemy says we have to salute, or we need to start to salute, you think they talking about this type of shit, right? No. They're talking about the real salute. Salute stands for Standard Military Reporting, It stands for size, activity, location, unit, time, equipment. Salute framework is a standard military reporting method for intelligence gathering, standing for size, activity, location, unit, time, equipment. It is used to provide concise, accurate, and actionable information, meaning iron sights, about an observed subject, often threats or enemy forces to assist in the decision-making of them. Remember when they said that the CIA gave them the intel, big money, I told Khomeini's base was, so they could not take them out. They were practicing, they were engaged in salute framework to do that. You understand? Size, the number of individuals, vehicles, and assets, activities, specific actions or behaviors, location, time, position, direction of movement, unit, identification, such as patches, markings, uniform types, time, exact date, time of observation, equipment, weapons, vehicles, gears, right? Observe. Application for context, military security, used for reporting information, suspicious activity. Other uses sometimes applied to security monitoring, such as documenting law enforcement activity. health care, a separate program designed to help improve care for military veterans by addressing their unique service-related health. This is exactly what was happening in Minnesota. Remember these niggas was out here and they were tracking the police, they were tracking ICE, they was following behind ICE, they were using their vehicles to shut down ICE, they was getting tipped off where the ICE was, they was creating the things where niggas was getting clapped, the ICE had to clap them niggas. What you're seeing, what you saw, what you're understanding was a full-scale military junta. What you are seeing is the active operation of a domestic terrorist cell. That's what you're witnessing, whether you realize it or not. Those are coordinated efforts. Those coordinated. A bunch of who? Caucasian, liberal, Democrat females who have been radicalized. The same way they radicalized these niggas in the 50s and the 60s in the weatherman underground. What we was talking about last week. The same thing. And what did they do? They radicalized these niggas in the institution, just like we read in the military junta explanation. Didn't they say that they went in there and they took over the political institutions? That's why Harvard was in the Epstein file. That's why Stanford was in the Epstein file. That's why MIT is in the Epstein file. Because the Israeli junta is the one that's been doing all of this shit. They are fighting a battle on two fronts that they can't win. Because this nigga Donnie got his own junta going on. He got his own insurgency going on. With this golden dome shit. He got his own shit inside the government. That's what's really going on. Remember, there is no federal government. The federal government was exposed in the Supreme Court case. I'm still trying to find it. I think they scrubbed it, where they basically came out and said that the Union of the United States posed as the federal government during the coup d'etat of 1871. But I'm saying that all of these niggas is executing powers from a vacant office because we haven't had a real representative president or Congress since they went against the Articles of Confederation.
Is out for the Cardinals.
That's how long we have been deprived of what a real Republican form of government it really is. And that Republican form of government came out of the old Moorish Empire.
Fourth down is looming.
No Indian treaties is respected because they were the first insurgents. The Indian niggas, they were the first ones on this sword to go against what the actual empire was by starting to call themselves what the fake government was calling them.
As they'll discuss what's to come. This fourth down.
That's facts. Yes, when they stopped going by Illos and Days and started going by the Spanish designation of Indios, that was an insurgency. That was them going against the surrender of Grenada, going against the Alhambra Agreement, going against the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, going against the signal and ship and signal treaty. That's why the white man never respected none of them treaties, because them niggas was traitors. Remember, it said that the Cherokees, after a certain time, went and fought against the Mound Builders. The Mound Builders, according to Henry Turner versus the United States, were the Moors. So what are the new insurgency doing? They now trying to create a new division between the Moors because these Moors are spelled with a U and these Moors are spelled with a O. But when I say that Muslim is different from Muslim, these niggas is like, oh no, that's going too far. What are you niggas talking about?
In this soft zone, I'm gonna what they call punch and pivot and
what
stop.
do you think the president referred to us as
Put the
Muslim?
ball on your chest. That
Oh, but they use those words interchangeably.
between the receiver
So you can use that interchangeably, but we can't use more with a O and more with a U interchangeably. Y'all niggas is agents.
offense is so difficult to defend.
They're proving it to y'all. They're proving it to y'all. And who is bringing this information to you? Females.
Third catch of his first half, and good enough for a first down.
Do you see what I'm saying? What if the lesbians that ran BLM, weren't they all females? Weren't they all lesbians? Didn't they say that they are all well-trained Marxists, communists? Didn't they tell you that? Didn't they tell you that? Didn't they kill all the heterosexual males in BLM that wasn't in their family? Haven't they all been convicted and go to jail for taking over that money that they made off of that horrible person, George Floyd? Who put a gun to a pregnant woman's head when he was doing a drug deal? Didn't that happen? Do you see what I'm saying? Look, this is talking about insurgency. Look, here you go. This insurgency. Look, the truth in the temple. Subject informed that his correct name is, let's just say Kirkman Bank, right? And that he is a citizen of the United States. See? See? He stated that the More Science, not Shrine, Temple, see that? So that means he was a Shriner. More Science Temple of America was organized in 1913 in Newark, New Jersey by one W.R. Lee. That Lee was the head of the American organization from 1913 until his death in 1929. I thought he died in 28. See how these niggas be lying? They claim that he has been the head of the More Science Temple of America since 1929. And that his official title is Supreme Grand Governor, and that the organization has temples in 17 different cities throughout the United States, including Cleveland, Ohio, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Richmond, Norfolk, Virginia, Chicago, Illinois, Baltimore, and Maryland. And that the organization is not represented in the cities of New York and Philadelphia. According to, let's just say Kirkman, prior to 1930, various temples held regular meetings for registration and organization purposes. However, since 1930, meetings have been held, and its present policy of the organization to hold no meetings, and their work is supposed to be carried on individually, and any instructions or information concerning the organization are passed among the members from word of mouth. So the prophet told them, when they open the temple back up, it ain't going to be the same thing. So we're going to have to go into the crib. That's why he really ill less than dead, and his body kept everything in the crib. He advised, sorry, there's a little mosquito trying to kill me when I'm talking. He advised that it was merely as a matter of policy that the regular meetings had been discontinued, but would not elaborate on the reason for the discontinuance of such meetings, because he had no power over the people that left. How are you the head of the organization? You took it over, but you don't have no power over who's the people there. He stated that at the time of the regular organization, meetings were discontinued in 1930. The More Science Temple of America had 32,000 enrolled members. He apparently has no record of these members, but assumes that the membership is at present the same since no new members have been taken in. How are you the head of the whole organization that you took over in 1929, 1930, but you don't know where 32,000 people is at? And none of these niggas is coming to your version of the meeting. Does that make sense to y'all? Does that make sense?
Right away, they'll set up to throw.
They advised the agency that the More Science Temple of America is part of a worldwide organization.
Yeah, 2 men wide open down the field.
Statement of furnishing further in the organization concerning the countries of which the organization exists. Because he didn't know. Because he didn't have no knowledge. Once they got rid of the prophet, everybody seen the real see what was going on and broke out. So they had to refill the members. They had to get new people in that didn't know nothing. So they started to go to the fraternal organizations and bring these Shriners and these other Freemason devils into the movement. And then that's why it's cool. That's why it became cool for them to be able to do all of that shit. Be Moors and then be that too. And then that just became the thing. According to Bay, the purpose of the organization is to recover the birthright of the Moors, which was taken from them in 1779. He could not explain by whom. You couldn't explain by whom. You're saying everything else, nigga. You're snitching on everything else that you know. How come you don't know this?
Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Look, and be known as the Moors. He denied that it is a religious, political, or what? Fraternal organization. So right there, we have just proved that the Most High Temple of America, the Divine National Movement, was not a fraternal organization. So what do you niggas do? Right there, snitch is telling you. Even the snitch know. Even the snitch know that it has nothing to do with fraternal organization. So what do you niggas do? So again, I'm proving the insurgency within the temple, or within the temples, and where it started. Okay? You know what temple is supposed to be? He attended that he is not a Negro, but a descendant of the Moors. Amongst whatever advises that Bay has all the appearances and characteristics. He said, but the agent, whoever he is, advises that Bay has all the appearance and characteristics of a full-blooded Negro. Because he's snitching. So the people told the niggas nothing. Real Wolf would have kept it quiet. Real Wolf would have said, if the problem ain't with it, I ain't with it.
To start this second half, I think anytime you find yourself in a tie ball game, you want to be the team that strikes.
That's it.
So in this case,
so according to the salute framework,
now it's their
we have already busted down. Look, he said the size, number of individuals, vehicles, assets, 32,000 members. Activity, special actions or behaviors. Did they go to meetings or not? Location, current position of direct movement. Where is it located at? Chicago, this, that, in all of the different states, right? Unit, identification of such patches, uniforms, defense, deterrent, right? Time, the exact.
Oh, come on.
Observation. September 12, 1931. Equipment, weapons, vehicles, gear observed. The gear is the fact that this nigga looked like a basic Negro.
That got to him, that forced the errant throw, and fortunately to this offense, that ball didn't end up going the other way.
So do you see how all of this plays into what's happening today? Do you see the insurgencies and how they played us? How they stayed trying to use the same agents against us over and over and over again. Doing the same BS. Trying to convince Moors that they could be this, be that, it's okay to be that, do this, right? So you could be a Moor, you could be all this other shit too. No.
I don't want to take anything away from the quarterback here,
you cannot be a slave to two masters.
But this play is one or
that's
lost.
Basic understanding.
They're the ones who need to get off the snap on time.
I know a lot of good Moors that's involved with that stuff and all that. Again, I'm not trying to impugn you and shut down your little club. I'm just saying what it is. Because ain't nobody love y'all enough to tell y'all. Because y'all stay in y'all little echo chamber going back and forth, talking big degrees to one another, when everything is already in the Circle 7. It's already there.
That's cool.
Coming up with all these extra degrees and all this ADEP and up this and that. It's like, how is that helping the people? Y'all niggas been flashing signs for 250 years. How are we any farther along?
To stop him, especially once he gets going.
How is that helping any of us that's not involved with that shit?
They'll work now on 2nd and 4.
And I'll stop talking about it. But you can't, because it's not. Because again, the Buffalo Widow Ali is reported to have said who have told the brother who came to the temple with the Shriners Fest, brother, you do not need that. Now that I, the prophet, am here, then know what you are lead, took that hat off of him and gave him a plain red vest. That's why the Moors not supposed to mark their vest. So if you see a Moor with a marked vest, that's not a Moor. That's a Shriner. That is a jester. That is a small hat adjacent supporter.
From the 1, 2nd and goal.
You understand? Because they control all of that shit.
Benson. And this one ruined quickly.
They control
Taken back to the 5-yard line.
I think this is one of those cases, Mike, where simple is better than
Would you
creative.
put
They try
a
to get
sword
fancy, and not only do they
above the
not get the
head
ball into the end zone,
of the
they
woman?
don't even get the ball back to the original line of scrimmage. We're going
Why
to see
would
if
you
this
do
could
that?
end up costing them 6 points.
Throwing here.
Oh, because we're protecting her. How are you protecting her with a sword above her head?
Field goal.
And then we wonder why they was flipped into a
Especially
service.
when they know the offense has to
Yeah,
be
niggas is all over
This
the
is a great
place.
example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears
So what's
back
the
and
difference
go.
between this and the
They
difference
know
of the
there is
round?
no
Y'all
threat
got
for
the
run.
same
It
symbol.
is a must-pass
So
situation.
we're supposed to understand everything by the signs and symbols that these niggas wear.
Job number 1 on this
And
drive.
what am I supposed to be? Think that you down with them. Because you got the same symbol, which is your sword going the other way.
That's a pretty good consolation prize as it moves him out in front.
So Sanders back out.
I don't think I'm
Making
wrong.
the field goal. He sends this one away.
You understand? I don't think I'm wrong about this. I've heard every argument that these niggas can come up with, and I still don't buy it. It still don't pass the sniff test. I'm sorry. Sorry. It just don't. No. You can't be brothers with me and then brothers with niggas like Alistair Crowley too. It just don't. Because he was a Shriner. He was a free. You understand what I'm saying? Then they say like, oh, well, he was dealing with the other side of more science and incident. Oh, the eating baby side? That's the side he went? Then I'm definitely not with that. I'm definitely not on that side. You understand? It's that simple for me. It's that simple, bro. There is no way around it. Out of it, nothing. That's just what it is, bro. We're not reading the same books.
Throwing on 2nd down is Purdy.
Shit, just hit him.
This is
Good
the
play.
concept. So, yeah. And we all know Hillary Clinton is one of the biggest devils, one of the biggest powers, one of the biggest homicidal maniacs, right, that's ever lived and ever been in government, right? Well, did you know that she had a personal DJ that would personally DJ all her events? This personal DJ was named DJ Kid.
He'll send the receiver in
Okay.
motion to the left.
DJ Kid, right? Like goat, like a baby goat. Brandon posted, this is wild, from the Daughters of the Nile website. Established 1913, Seattle, Washington, international organization committed to fostering, see, that's child trafficking, fostering social and intellectual opportunities. For more than 120 years and still rich in tradition, our forward-thinking women come together in fellowship, but also in service to support philanthropy, Shriners hospitals for children, told you, trafficking. Since our first donation over 100 years ago, the Daughters of the Nile Foundation in both the United States and Canada have contributed $77 million to this cause. Also because the Shriners' children holds a special place in our hearts. We volunteer our time and talents. This is a division of the Daughters of the American Revolution. And those were the white yellow females that was moved to infect them with the free thing that got them obsessed with these white women so that way they could breed them out, take their name, and then take their land through their name and they hybrid children. So tell me that that's not what's happening today. So getting back to DJ Kid. DJ Kid, who was a biological weapon, specifically came in all the areas and would go around different so-called black females and purposely infect them with AIDS, to the point that he infected over 700 dark-skinned, melanated American females on purpose, which means then that they, in turn, those females then did what? Infected over 1,000 plus, 3,000 plus, 5,000 plus people.
And they will finally catch up to him and get him down.
And what was his tactic? His tactic was he would be cool with the black men, but then he would go to the females. This is what they testify. They would go to the females and tell them how much better white men are than black men, and how much better he'll treat them, and how he'll be able to take them on different tours and all this other type of stuff. And always talk about how better of a man than he is, how better than they need to be with black men, and black men ain't shit, and black men ain't this. And they all big, they all went for it, and they all got AIDS for it. This nigga's now currently serving 90, he gotta do 80 years for purposely infecting over 7. So you know it's more than that, because he toured around the whole country. He also was prostituting.
Here comes 2nd and 4.
But this is the black man's fault. I bet you they find a way to make it the black man's fault. They'll still find a way to make it our fault. Yes, this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with, y'all.
A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 3.
They got them on a leash. You understand? They got them in the mind. They've broken the women in the mind. And remember, she is the one that creates the next generation of people. So when we're looking around and all these women, look at the Stephon Diggs situation. It's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Perfect example. These niggas are just brain dead breeders. And all these women fighting to have sex with the same nigga who don't want it.
His first touchdown this year.
Which then produces a whole other crop of children that can be used and abused and trafficked and then wind up in places like this.
You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the 4th quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had.
See the same Greece flag? The same Israeli flag? See how they got the same colors, the same stripes? You see the prisoners?
17-7.
Yes. Yes.
After the touchdown, Myers is
They just read it the Epstein file. This bitch, the degenerate was a prolific cannibal. You understand that cannibals,
up to the 28-yard line.
cannibals, people who fuck children, rapists, murderers, child rapists, these are the people who are in the government now. Right now. Which means Jasmine Crockett, Osea Cortez, all of these people are walking around and trying to make deals with these people every day. And they don't know what's going on. They don't have nothing to do with it.
Throwing on first down is Purdy. That's caught by McCaffrey. And they'll be
So what I'm saying, y'all, is that there is no real government.
13 yards.
All of the ACS, the CPS, the family court, the DF, diapers, all of that is proven to be human traffickers. So anybody trying to enforce anything from them is a human trafficker. So why are we allowing these people to still have jurisdiction over us? When they have all been proven to be this. You know how happy I am that finally, after all these years of me going, screaming this shit from the top of the mountaintop, that now it is finally so clear that no one can disprove it, that no one can come, you can play this for anybody, and if anybody come out and say what I'm saying is not true, they're down with it. That's how far I'm taking it. You can no longer say, oh, well, satanic cults, that's not real. Oh, well, the child trafficking is not real. Oh, well, the cannibal. You cannot say that about anything anymore. It's all true. There is no conspiracy. Conspiracy theories are just spoiler alerts at this point. You understand?
Had eyes on him the entire time. Secure
that's what they are at this point.
Prevents that from turning into a big play.
Remember this nigga? This the nigga that played him. This was the nigga that played him. Smith, I believe this nigga. Allegedly. Along with Jim Carrey, who they just swapped out. Allegedly. This is the New York Times. Genetically modified people are walking among us. How much do you much more do you have to see and read for you to take it seriously, to see exactly what it is? How much more are you willing to take? That's what this whole thing is. This is an act of contrition, man. The more we withstand, the less they can endure. That's where we're at now. They have finally crossed the movement. They've crossed the point of no return. They can't unring the bell. They can't put the gene back in the box. It's over. They've already attacked Iran. Right after it, this nigga Trump called them and said, yo, let's put a ceasefire in place. They was like, no, we don't want it. We don't want a ceasefire. We want to keep going. You understand what's happening? It's a wrap for them. It's a wrap for them. That's why he's trying to set up the board of peace, because what he's trying to do is get rid of the United Nations all the way. Why? Because on the United Nations Security Council, he got to work directly with China, Russia, Japan, and who else? The ceasefire for the armed conflict that they got going in Iran. After they killed Khomeini, he called the niggas and said, hey, he put a kite out the Italy and said, yo, we can do a ceasefire. Iran through Italy said, nah, we're going to keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's run it off. That's why Iran, they like, nah, let's run it up, son. Let's keep it going. So they're bombing the hell out of these people now. They are literally bombing the hell out of them. And remember, he tilted on the Iron Dome on these niggas. So the bombs is raining. They raining down on these niggas. So of course they set up their little insurgency with the African in Texas with the guns. Why? Because they trying to flip Texas into a blue state now. So they figure the insurgency got enough people riled up with the ice that it's going to work. But it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. It's not working. But also, in another form, again, when you bring in the Latin, you're talking about the Moors. There's another Latin term that goes with this called
it's 1st and 10. Start out with a run, and it's Wilson. And this will be a Cardinals first down as he's up to the 45.
So we had the just add Bellio, right? But we also have this, which is Casus Belli. It's another Latin term, another Moorish Latin term. It's Casus Belli, which means, let me pull it up. Which is Latin for case for war. It is an act, event, or situation that provokes or is used to justify a war. Nuclear weapons. Iran got nuclear weapons. We gotta stop Iran from nuclear weapons, even though we all got nuclear weapons. What is Israel? Israel has the Samson option, which is what? If everybody comes to tax us, and we're gonna set off all the nuclear bombs that we sent all over the world, and we're just gonna blow up the whole world. So you got to do what we say. What? What? That's like a child saying, if you don't play with me, I'm going to go and tell, and now nobody's going to be able to play. That's what these niggas option. And y'all niggas believe these niggas? Y'all believe them? you believe them. After everything they've done, you believe anything that these niggas tell you? That's why I think Donnie is double crossing these niggas. That's why I think this is going down. As soon as the whole thing went down, all of the hayseeds in New York started marching through the streets, holding their little yellow flags, talking about the Messiah's coming. The Messiah's almost here. The Mashiach. Right? The mitzvah for the Mashiach. But what did I tell you last week with the Sabbatian? That these niggas is not even real Hebrews. They're not even real Jews. They are Sabbatian Fabianists.
But now the question remains, are they willing to take some risk? They
believe what Yaakov Frank taught them. They're Frankists. They're Sabbatian Frankists. And they believe that they have to destroy the world, plunge it into absolute chaos, and make it a hell, so that way their Antichrist Messiah can materialize for them. This is what they believe. So they are willing to kill their own Jewish people, because in their mind, the Sabbatian Frankists are the only real Jews, because the real Jews know that they're not, that they're really Luciferian Satanists. The Torah Jews are the ones that's actually trying to follow the old Abrahamic law that the Sabbatians have overtaken. So they see them as second tier. They see them as volume 2. You understand? So they're going to enslave them the same way they see the rest of us. Because these Sabbatians are so crazy. They don't even believe that they're right. They don't believe that they're right. This is how crazy these niggas are. They don't believe they're white. Their goal, right, one of their goals is to eradicate Caucasian people off the earth by breeding them out, forcing the white women to have babies with the black man, and the black man to have babies with the white women. So that way they can create a hybridized race. And that way, when all the white people are gone, because they're so much smarter than us, they can rule the world over all the darker-skinned people and the hybrid people acting as their overseers over the rest of us. This is a part of their plan. This is what they believe. This is their religion. This is why they have set it up. Do you understand that the reason why he shut down the Department of Education was because the Department of Education was taken over by the Shabbat Jews in so many districts that what they started to do was come in, shut down all of the arts and after-school programs, and diverted all of that money to private yeshiva schools in the different Lubavitch, Setlar, and upstate New York and Jersey Jewish communities. That's why you don't have none of that. All of the art programs and after-school programs and all the stuff that we was dealing with, they were the ones that came in and shut that down. You understand? They did that. They're the reason why your children can't read. They're the reason why that they